Okay, y'all. So I came out here to make this video um, about the Nolan Wells murder. Um, something has been something came to me, and I wanted to come out and make this video in the sun because I realized that Nolan was born on August 19th, which would make him born under the sun sign of Leo. And the sun just entered Leo yesterday, or today, as I'm making this, is July 23rd, 2026. So the sun is just entering Leo, and I want to be clear, I have not been following the case. And the reason I have not been following the case is because it's a lot. Because by profession, I have been for the last 13 years an attorney. And I have certainly heard my fair share, seen, and and I'm just saying, because I understand that a lot of people obviously follow this on social media, but for it to be, and for legal cases to be a part of your everyday existence can sometimes be a lot, specifically for those who are spiritually gifted. You know what I mean? It can be a lot. And so I've intentionally not been really following the case, but I can't, I'm at the place where things have been coming to me that I can't ignore, which is why I'm making this video. So I saw something that said something about his throat and his larynx being missing as a part of the autopsy. Now, I don't know all the ins and outs of how that happened or what, but something, I'm going to close my eyes when I say this, because I want the focus to be on what I'm seeing and not looking at myself in the camera, right? Or, I just want to focus on what it is that I'm seeing and that I'm sensing. There is something with the throat. The answers are going to be found with whatever is happening within that child's throat. And several months back, I made a video about sacrifices that have been done for I don't even know how long, where we have these white people, men generally, that will go and buy tickets, I guess, to go hunt animals, particularly in Africa, like the lion, right? Like the lion. Please understand, that is not sport, that is ritual. That is ritual. That is ritual. Because the lion is seen as the king of the jungle. In astrology, the lion is also seen as the king or the royal aspect of the zodiac. The lion, the Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, Scorpio, is the fixed axis of the zodiac. It is also called the fixed cross. The cross is where saviors go to be sacrificed, right? According to Christian religion, saviors go to be sacrificed on the cross. And so what I am seeing is this was a ritualistic sacrifice of a lion. In the same way, right? You have this constant attacks on former President Obama, who is also a Leo. I please understand, this is so much bigger than personality. This is so much bigger than the things that people are seeing, the things that people are being told. I'm telling you what is coming to me. And this is the information that I'm sharing. But in the same way, it's always about sacrificing the king, sacrificing what is supposed to come from, in the same way, like I guess you think about it from the perspective of, from biblical text, right? Not wanting the king to grow up, to become the king. You understand? Not wanting the king to live, but wanting to sacrifice the child so that they don't grow up to become the king. You understand? Because it is about the restoration of the what would be the royal priesthood, the royal aspect, the royalty of the zodiac, which is ruled by the sun, in which all planets revolve around the sun. You understand? So the entire nation is focused on this particular case, the sun. You understand? And if his death, as I understand it, was on or around Independence Day, quote unquote, Independence Day for the United States, you understand? That was founded on rape and murder and pillaging and all of these things. So it's no coincidence that we're talking about any of this. It may appear to be so, but there are no coincidences within the universe. There are no coincidences. Everything is everything is everything. And so sometimes we get so caught up in the everything that we miss everything. And this is just what I am seeing. The other thing is, this is a call for those born under the sun of Leo, or under the sign of Leo, to roar, to speak out, to use your voice, to reclaim and walk in your power. Because part of what has happened is, by victimizing people at a young age, you train people into a system of obedience so that they don't speak out and use their voice when things happen to them, so that they never mature to grow into that lion, that lioness. They stay a little kitty cat because their voice never matures, because they've been too afraid to speak out. Also, those born under the sign of Taurus, which rules the throat, speak out. Speak out. Walk in your truth. Speak your truth. This is about speaking truth in your power. You are the power. We're not speaking truth to power, because you are the power. We're not speaking to anyone else. You're speaking to yourself and standing in what you know to be true. There are those who are coming online to these spiritual gifts for such a time as this, for you to use them. All of these things that they have told you were evil and demonic, in the background they have been using against you whole time. So these animal sacrifices, so when you see these animals buck up and attack, what you are seeing is those who are indigenous to this earth rising in their power. And because everything is everything, the animals are also responding. Right? What is it? Everything, everywhere, all at once, something like that? I've never even watched the movie, but it's the same concept. It's all connected. It's always been connected. It's us who've been taught to be fragmented, right? By bills and drama and stress and news and the White House and all of these things. But this is about standing in your power and standing in the awareness of who you are and knowing, no, you're not crazy. You're connected and you're awakening and you're remembering. And because you are remembering, you're literally putting the members and parts of yourself back together. And that is what was attempted to be stopped, right? To defragment your particles. You understand? But now you are able to put yourself back together again, so that you are no longer the sacrifice on the fixed cross, where it's no longer the courage of the lion that's being taken. It's no longer the voice of the bull that's being taken. It's no longer, right, that creative energy of Scorpio that is being taken. It is no longer the we, the collective we in Aquarius that is being taken, but it's all coming together for such a time as this. Because that baby should be here. but for these beings looking to sacrifice, because they understand that it's always been spiritual. It's always been spiritual. But because they operate pretty much only on the physical plane, they cannot see into the spirit realm. And so they do their work on the physical realm in order to try to affect what happens in the spirit. And so for those of you who are spiritually minded beings, do your work. Speak your truth. See what you see. Know what you know. And stand and rise in your power. Because our babies will no longer be the sacrifice. We will no longer be the sacrifice. For it is done, it is written, and so it is, and so shall it be.